The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 3. Against him that bended, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the items that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then those that cleave to the body. And I just saw this prideful ass article this morning, all right, as I was looking through, a little information, all right, and E really believed that, he's gonna be able to protect himself from the onslaught and the Bible slaughtering, all right, of his nation and people, man, all right, and the places where they dwell upon. You see, they really believe in their weapons, okay, and they have girded themselves since aforetime, man, in instruments, all right, and things, thinking they can cover themselves from the fury or the indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And then you got this this situation where America is funding Ukraine, all right, with missiles, drones, and armor and Brigandine, different systems set in place, all right, along with Israel and the Iron Dome, or whatever, just but ultimately, all right, this devil think he's gonna be able to escape when the boat, the arrows is shot at this place, right? The arrows meaning the nuclear missiles, and amongst other things, because there's no nuclear missiles being shot in the Ukraine-Russia war, but the ICBM missiles, all right? But ultimately, that's what's going to happen, okay? And there's not going to be a system in place to stop. It's going to be too many arrows shot at this place, man, to get it, because they're funding Ukraine, all right. Well, ultimately, as if they're fighting in a war, all right. The they is the America, obviously. NATO and the EU, all right, is a conjunction of America, all right. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization and the European Union, all right. At the end of the day, okay. At the end of the day, these devils and not gonna be able to protect themselves, and that's the point. I ain't gonna get overly going to it a whole bit much, but it's just this crazy, man. Let me read a little bit of the article. It says a NATO country, all right, which means North Atlantic Treaty Organization country, buys Iron Dome missile defense system to send Vladimir Putin a weapon. Send Vladimir Putin a warning. Now, when you look up the Iron Dome, all right, let me just look it up very brief here. Nothing too crazy, all right. The Iron Dome, okay, is an Israeli mobile all-weather air defense system, all right, developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems and Israel Aerospace Industries, all right. The system is designed to intercept and destroy short-range rockets, you see, and artillery shells fired from distances of 4 to 7 kilometers, meaning 2 to 43 miles away, and whose trajectory would take them to an Israeli populated area, right, where the missile be destroyed or shot another way, whatever. From 2011 to 2021, the United States contributed a total of US $106 billion to the Iron Dome defense system. And here you got people over here homeless, all right, the water all tainted, but they got time to fund their military system, because that's what's greater than you people. War is a racket, all right? So they have to protect themselves. Was not Cain named the spear, all right? Esau himself is a weapon, okay? So approved by the U.S. Congress in 2022. But that's the short synopsis of it or whatnot, just to let you know what it is. So, and it says Israeli has found a buyer for its famous Iron Dome missile defense system from a European country that is feeling the heat from Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine. All right. Romania has confirmed it has signed a deal with defense manufacturer Rafael to acquire the system to protect the NATO nation from short-term missiles. Once a Soviet state, you see, it was once a Soviet state. So the people that's shooting the missiles on it, they was part of the Russians, man. All right. So why in the hell is NATO funding, these people that was once a part of, the people they trying to break away from? This is kind of crazy. Speaking on Romanian television, Defense Minister Lunat Măstu said the deal will be signed within a year to defend our cities. Măstu insisted he is confident in the system's effectiveness and seeing it in action against Iranian missile attacks on Tel Aviv. See, so when you looked on the TV and the news, and as those missiles was so-called attacking Israel, that or whatever, they it looked at effective to the eye and different things like that. But what happens when heavier artillery, heavier missiles, all right, be shot? You see? So there's a bigger picture to this. You can buy a momentary defense, all right, but you're slated to go down, all right, along with the NATO and the EU and America, man. All right? He said it will protect us too, whether it's airports, military bases, or God forbid, we need to defend our cities. You read this last article. Roger Hilton, defense research fellow at the Slovenian-based tank Globsec, told Newsweek that since Russia attempted invasions of Ukraine, Romania has experienced repeated airspace violations while debris from Russian drones and missiles have fallen on the country. You say you want to get in there and do something, Romania. All right? Although there was no evidence the violations were deliberate. You see? So you intending to protect yourself, because what you want? You gonna shoot some missiles? What you gonna do? He said the use of the Iron Dome in a NATO country is a natural response to Russia's increased production of short-range drones and missiles, but expect Moscow to balk at the defense upgrade. Right? He'll say as the systems come online, it will surely be met with derision and false claim of escalation from the Kremlin. Right? Meanwhile, the U.S. has, for the first time, joined talks on a European-led peacekeeping force to aid Ukraine once the war ends. And UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said the mission is now fully prepared for deployment. Right? They call the coalition willing as ready to go once a ceasefire is agreed, as he and the Prime Minister. All right, whatever. All right, so big. Okay, but this is not sending Vladimir Putin a warning. All you doing is causing him to sharpen up his attack methods, man, and how and what he gonna do to get around that Iron Dome. Yeah, he could just use practice targets now. All right, to penetrate it, and these countries already know, man, that Iron Dome can't handle no intercontinental ballistic missile. That's what it's gonna come to. All right, but again, NATO and the EU lift themselves up in their Brigandine. Let me bring that out. All right, this is a Jeremiah 51:3. Against him that Bennett let the archer bend his bow, right, and against him that lifted up himself in his Brigandine, and spare ye not our young men. Destroy all our hosts utterly. All right, which host goes into army. Let's get this word Brigandine right here, man. Right. Again, I ain't gonna be long. This will be it. All right.
Strong's H, 5630. Sirion.
Yeah.
Sirion.
Sirion. It goes into armor, right? Or defense system, or coat of mail. All right. When you look up a coat of mail, it's like a breastplate of armor. All right. It says, you know, a body armor. See, something that embodies something or keep it concealed within. All right, to keep all harm and you know, destruction out. All right, that's the purpose for the Iron Dome. You see, but it says, I think in Job, that the iron weapon gonna strike her through. So that's gonna get in. All right, those nuclear missiles. Right, let me see. The iron weapon. Okay, this is the true iron weapon. Yeah, it says, I'm gonna read Job 20:23. When he is about to fill his belly, right? This is the ultimate destruction of Babylon, right? But it's talking about Esau, Edom, because the Lord have given Esau the earth. Job 9:24, the wicked at this point, all right, he's in rulership. When he's about to fill his belly, as a king do, all right, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, right, his indignation, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating, all right, meaning what? While he's in comfort, all right. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through, man, right. So the real iron weapon, talking about those intercontinental ballistic missiles, you see, ain't nothing gonna be able to hold them back. Going back to the book of Joel, all right, they shall not break their ranks. Ain't nothing gonna keep them back, man. All right, it says it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, that means it entered in, all right, into this place, man. Okay, it got in. It got round missile defense systems and amongst other things, man. All right, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. So meaning what? It's going, you know, it's going to penetrate and hit everything it's supposed to hit, man. You know? So it's a bigger picture. Y'all can use this as a short-term protection, all right? But ultimately, y'all, you know, NATO and the EU and America, they're going to be destroyed. So I don't want to write this out of what's that a finance. Next time I see Shalom.